So why is it important to begin learning how to garden before you need to have the garden in a necessity kind of situation? I would love to tell you. 2 years ago, I had a wonderful gardening year. I had okra, tomatoes, corn, potatoes. I had beets. I had turnips. I had carrots. I had onions. I had garlic. Last year, I tried. There was so much rain that my roots rotted in the ground. This year, the same thing happened with my potatoes. And then all of a sudden, we are in this drought situation. So I would say before it came down to you having to have the food, you need to practice gardening. Okay. These little okras are so limpy. So limpy. They're really struggling. Now, if I was dependent on this garden this year for my food for the winter, I guarantee it'd be largely lacking. With everything I put in the pantry over the last 2 years, things that I have, things that I have grown myself, and things that I have, see, check this out. I'm getting some, wow, this one's too big to use. Dang gummit, and it's got black beetles on it. Okay, so bugs. You're gonna have pest pressure. You're gonna have these okras, which are too hard to pick because you let them go too long. There's so many things that can go wrong in a backyard garden for you when you first start out that you're going to need a couple of seasons to work out all the kinks, so to speak. I didn't bring a basket out here. So let me show you just this right here. Another one, too large to use. And I didn't think that these were making, so I can't use that. So this okra is starting to come along pretty good. So I'd say this is a win, but I've got an immense amount of pest pressure on these okra. And see, they don't look real great. Kind of droopy. Okay, let's come on out here and see my corn. It's burnt up. I had, I think 5 or 6 rows, I'm not sure, that I counted on putting corn in the freezer this year. And it ain't gonna happen. So I haven't had a good crop of vegetables in 2 years. And I started 2 years ago teaching myself how to garden. And if I was dependent on this, I'd be sore out this year. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did it just runt? Runt. Just burnt up. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This ear of corn. Let's open it up. Sorry, I'm having to do this with my phone with one hand. Now, I'm not saying you can't use this like baby corns. No, you can't use this. Look, there's no corn on it. Really, it's useless. And I got a whole 5 rows I was counting on. I had a whole row of peppers gone. My squash, they're about fried out. My watermelon patch is just, this garden year has been heartbreaking. So while you're sitting there going, I want to learn, I'll garden when I have to. I don't need a garden. If you look in the store, the prices are outrageous right now. And if you're on a budget like we are, we both have full-time jobs, me and my husband. I was really looking forward to this to supplement our grocery budget. Honey, the only thing that you're going to get in here is basil. I think I've got what's it called? Hornworms in here eating my tomatoes. When the temperature's over 85 degrees, blossoms will not set on tomatoes. So we've had some cool days, so we've gotten some blossom set on my pear tomatoes. Those are yellow pears. But I'm telling you, this is just a heartbreaking season. I'm really going to have to depend on my fall crop, which will be, I'm going to try to do potatoes again, onions, turnips, beets, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower. And instead of going for 4 gardens, I'm just going to do this space, probably the one where my corn's at, because it's the newest one. It's important to be prepared and know what you're doing in your garden in order to have a really full year. I really didn't know what I was doing 2 years ago, but I just lucked out. But I'm totally out of pickles. It's 2 years later. My cucumbers burn up. They didn't make but one cucumber in my whole garden. I'm going to try to do some for the fall or the late summer garden and try to have some pickles. I've still got some okra in my freezer from 2 years ago. I've still got squash in my freezer from 2 years ago. Got some greens. But don't wait until it's too late to plant a garden, until you think you can do something, and then it's a devastating, heartbreaking year where nothing comes to fruition, where five rows of corn don't make. Your zucchini you had 2 rows of, it made a week and a half worth of vegetables. Your watermelons, which are very seasonal, you're going to eat them in the summertime, fresh eating, they really didn't make. So please be prepared.